Marry rich or die. That's the conversation we're having today. Let's talk about the things that people don't tell you when you decide to go that route. Guys, if you hear my voice, I've been having a cold for 2 weeks. I don't know what is happening. So I have my cup of tea. So if you can grab your tea, grab your coffee, let's have this discussion. It's not a judgmental place. We want to demystify some things that people talk about. It's very important for us to have this money conversation randomly, guys. Even I'm not talking about it from an expert perspective, but it's good to put these things, to talk about money and to talk about the financial aspects in all ways, so that the young generation, or even us, because we are also learning every day. Okay, so in this process of just wanting to learn and to understand things that probably our parents never taught us, or nobody taught us, we have to have these money conversations. There's always a cost attached to anything or any decision you make in life. So you ask yourself, you tell people, or I've had this with young people, marry rich, but at what cost? There's an illusion of marry rich where every woman is told or advised to strategically place themselves in a way that they will be chosen by a wealthy person. Because why would you want to start from scratch? Why would you want to build your own wealth when you can partner with someone who's already done that? That is an illusion, guys. Okay, because what you're forgetting is you're not the only person, or you're not the only person who is being advised or who has this mentality that you want to partner yourself with a rich person or a wealthy person. Because let's not even talk about wealth. Let's just talk about a man who has money, because wealth is a different category altogether. Let's just talk about someone who has made a few money here and there. Okay, so this is the illusion that partner yourself with this person so that you do not have to struggle. And I'm not saying choose struggle. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should partner yourself with a person who is struggling financially. But I'm also not saying you should position yourself where you're chosen by a wealthy man, because it comes with a cost. Okay, the cost of, if you're not the only person who is being advised to position yourself to be chosen by a rich man, let's use rich as by a rich man, it means you're in competition with a thousand of women who are also wanting to position themselves to be chosen or to be taken by a rich man. Okay, so it's a competition. You see now where patriarchy takes the upper hand, because now women are competing against each other to be chosen by a wealthy man. What does this look like financially, or the hidden cost that comes with you wanting to be chosen? It means if you want to attract, and this is a facade, and this is just something we need to demystify. If you want to be chosen by a rich man, it means you have to look expensive. And you guys have seen the number of issues that have come up when young girls take themselves to very expensive hotels because they dress up, they want to look rich. Yeah, so you dress up nicely, you spend your hard-earned money to buy expensive clothes, to buy expensive shoes, to buy expensive perfume, so that you can smell like money, or for you to attract a rich man. Okay, so there's a certain image that has been perpetuated, that for you to attract this person that you deem in your mind, this person that is coming to rescue you from the poverty that you grew up in, or to be rescued from the hardship of this world, you have to look a certain way. So you end up spending your hard-earned money to put yourself in that position, even when you're not financially capable of doing that. Because instead of building your wealth as a young person and to put that money in a way that is going to come and help you, or to invest the 100,000 that you're going to spend on one weekend to buy clothes, to buy hair, to buy makeup, to just set yourself up as someone who is, someone who will be chosen, instead of spending that money. And this is not to judge, guys. Let me reiterate this. It's not to judge you. It's for you to just now sit down and think. Instead of putting this money to grow yourself in a way that you become the rich man, now you're using the money to set up yourself to be chosen by the rich man. If you use the same energy, the same drive to want something for yourself, if you can use the same drive as a woman to get what you want, but to get what you want for you, not that someone is going to hand over. So you spend 100,000, you end up attracting the rich man, I don't know how, what it means to be rich, a rich man, to attract a rich man. What you don't understand, guys, in your early years, when you're 20 to 20, let's say between the age of 19 to 26 or 27 or 28, let's say from the age of 19 to 28, yeah, you still don't have money, you've not come across good money, yeah. So money is relative, and a rich man is relative at that point, because this man can seem rich because you're only 23, yeah, and you've not seen 1 million. Or this person decides they are going to pay your rent, they're going to fund your lifestyle, so you deem this person as a rich person just because you have not touched the money for yourself. Him giving you 100,000 per month might look like rich man because you're 20s. Now, if you go back and see women who have touched money in their 30s and their 40s, that looks like nothing to them. Yeah, and that's why when these young girls position themselves to attract the rich man, they do not go for the older women. It's because these other older women or women who've matured, they understand that 100,000 is not money. Or someone giving me 100,000 or 50,000 is not money, because my needs are more than 100,000, or the things that I want to do are more than that 100,000. So you put yourself in a position where you think, if this person gives you 100,000 per month, then he's a rich guy. Then now you sort of let go of your autonomy as a person. Because again, let me tell you guys, if you decide to outsource or to give someone the permission to feed you, you've also given them the permission to starve you. So now you end up not acquiring any skill in your 20s because you stayed in a comfort, because someone was funding your lifestyle and you never went back to school, or you never did a business, because you see now this is easy money coming in every now and then, only to come and realize later you have wasted a decade, and this person was not even rich as you thought. Now when your frontal lobe develops, you come to realize, let's talk about proximity reality. What people don't want to talk about most often, that the possibility of you marrying a rich man depends on your proximity to rich man. If you're born and bred in Eastlands, like myself, how it's very hard for you to interact with children or people who come from Karen. We are just using this as an example, guys, okay? So if I was born and bred in West Eastlands, for you to be able to get someone who, in fact, us when you were growing up, to ever even come close to someone who came from Karen, it was a very unimaginable thing, because how are you ever gonna meet these people who you deem as rich? Because of your proximity. You are born and bred in Westlands. The possibility is that you're going to be married by someone from Eastlands and its environs. And you know what I mean, okay? So that's a very high possibility, okay? Something else people don't want to talk about is that wealthy families are not accessible. Let me tell you guys, they have a very tight, knit, close relationships. They choose for their kids who to marry and which families to marry, because they want a certain relationship. Let me use this as an example, guys. You see, your dad has to be known by the person you want to marry. Like, your father has to be someone who has a relationship with a family member that there's a symbiotic relationship, meaning there's a give and take relationship. So they end up setting their kids to intermarry with each other because they want the family dynamics to grow, or the relationships or the benefit they get from each other to continue. So if you're coming from Eastlands, yeah, and then you get married to someone from a certain, let's say Karen, this is an example, guys. You get married to someone from Karen and your family does not have any relationship in terms of business relationship or in terms of work relationship, it's gonna be a very huge struggle. And mostly it does not happen, because these families are looking at how can we benefit if my daughter marries into this family, or how can my son benefit when when my son marries into this marries this girl from this family, because for them they have to maintain very symbiotic relationships of give or take. Okay, so now they look at, if you're coming from a very humble background, they look at you like you're coming as a parasitic relationship, meaning you're coming to take but nothing to get from you. Like there's nothing they can take from your family, there's nothing that they can take from you. So they are also looking at you like this is a parasitic relationship, you're coming to leech onto our son. Guess what happens? They treat you in a not in a very nice way. I hope I always wish that people can come and talk about these things when people who have strategically placed themselves to get married to rich men, and they see how they were treated in those settings. Yes, you are married to that relation in that family, but to see how you become isolated because they never fully accept you in that family. They never fully accept you regardless of what happens. You can do any business, but they still feel like you are a parasite, or you're leeching onto their family to take as much as you can. You see, for someone to be rich, guys, they have a strategy as to how they're going to maintain their richness. So for them to see anyone come and sort of leech or come and take without giving something, then you're mistaken. You're mistaken. Okay, let's assume you are the 1% of the women who end up getting married into the rich family. They will judge you. They will judge you, and they will judge your family. They will judge where you come from. They will judge how you're going to raise the children that you're going to get into that family, because they already see you as less than. So you do not have the power to raise kids the way you will have raised children if you went into a relationship of equal status. Like, your opinion is not so much looked at, because what are you saying? You never went to high-end schools. You don't know what activities are done there. So what opinion do you think you're going to come and bring when it comes to their grandkids? Yeah, you see what I'm trying to say? Yeah, you also feel like you have to constantly prove yourself that you're not in this relationship because of the money. Even though you positioned yourself because you wanted to be chosen by someone who has money, now you have to live the next decades trying to prove yourself that you're not in this relationship as a leech. You're not in this relationship to come and take. Now let's talk about the power dynamic in such a relationship that you want to get into. If the man has money that you're looking for, you are not in a relationship. You are in a dependency, meaning you depend on this person to live. Okay? So dependency slowly becomes something that it can turn quietly into control. If this person knows that your life will depends on him, there's a possibility that he can use that to control you and make decisions or do whatever he wants to do, because he knows there's not where you're going. You depend on him financially to live the life, or the kind of life that you want to live. Okay, so if something goes wrong and you decide, now I've had it and I want to leave this relationship, it becomes a financial warfare for you. Yeah, because this person will use every machinery, he will use every relationships, he will use every amount of money to frustrate you, especially if you decide to leave that relationship with children. There's a possibility that those kids are going to be taken away from you, because you do not have the muscle, the financial muscle, to fight this man. And the relationship that these people create, yeah, they know lawyers, they know doctors, they know pilots, they know people. You see, those relationships, they don't just thrive because of money. They thrive because of they have created relationships in every sector. They know people in gas and oil, they know people in transportation, they know people in farming, they know people. That's why they are rich, because their machinery and the systems that they have created, it involves a lot of people. So it's just a one phone call for them to call this judge. Their father went to school with with the father and the father of another judge. Their son, the son that you went to school with, was their father was the I don't know of that school. The father of the father of the father and the mother of the mother knows the father and the mother of the father and the mother of the judge and the lawyer and the advocate and the biggest, I don't know, you get my gist. You get what I'm going with this thing, okay? Because what you with your small relationship, there's a possibility you don't have the financial muscle. You also do not have the system to back you up in case of any financial warfare. Let's talk about the long-term liability. When you're 23 and a man with money looks like security, yeah? But life will evolve and you will figure out when you grow, your identity changes. You become a different person. You see, what you craved when you're in your early years might not be the same thing that you crave when you're older. And let me tell you guys, apart from money, there's a sense of belonging that comes with you just having doing something for yourself and getting your own money, okay? Because you see, let me tell you, when you decide to outsource and someone gives you a comfortable life, it's a beautiful thing. But you see, if that comforts come with you killing a certain part of yourself that will never develop into anything, at what point will you ever know your ability, your capability of earning money? And who is to say that just because who is to say that you cannot become a millionaire later in life if you give yourself a chance? What I'm basically trying to say, is it bad to is it bad for you to be partner with someone who has money? No, it's not. But it has to be something that is a bonus. I don't know if you understand. You cannot make it your whole entire life strategy that now you're living to be chosen. You're living, everything is geared towards being chosen or being spotted to be taken to very small vacation. Things that, let me tell you, if you give yourself a decade or a few years, you'll take yourself to Dubai. If you give yourself time, you're going to take yourself to, I don't know, South Africa and with your own money, and make decisions around where you want to stay, when you want to go to that vacation, what you want to do in that vacation, because it's now, it gives you an identity. Because now if you give another person the permission to do these things for you, then they decide when you're going for the vacation, they decide where you're going to stay, they decide so many things that might not even please you, but you do them because you do not have the choice. Who are you? Who can you be if you don't give yourself an opportunity to see the capability and the capacity to make money for yourself? You will always position yourself to be chosen. But give yourself time, marinate, learn what you need to learn, skill. Let me tell you guys, look at this way. Instead of you buying clothes and buying perfumes and hair and changing your makeup and buying expensive things to position yourself to be chosen by a rich man, what if you met the rich man when you're on your way to China because you're going to bring your stuff? It's a different thing, because this person also looks at you like respectable. Like, I found her when she was doing business. We found each other on our way to, when I was going to China for my business, and I found her on the plane going to China to also bring stuff. You also want to be partner with someone who has money, but also respect you and respect that you can also make your money, because they know they cannot put you out on the cold. They know they found you making money, and even if they leave you on the outside, they know you're capable of making money. Now let's see what happens when you're fully dependent on the rich man. When he puts you out and he killed your ability to make money. He removed you depended on him fully. So it means when you leave that relationship, there's a possibility that you're going to be in a worse position, because now you never created any skill. And even if, let me tell you, people say, oh, I'm going to have this rich man so that he can put for me this business. It's also going to be controlled, because he's the one making the decision on what you can do with that business. Rarely are people given the full autonomy to run that business as they should, especially if the money does not belong to them fully. When you decide to make this decision of marry rich, know at what cost. Not to say you should not partner yourself with someone who has money or who is rich, but sit down and see what you can, if you can be the rich babe. Yeah, be the rich babe. If you can partner with someone who can say, I have 4 million, you say, I have 2 million. instead of I'm waiting for him to and you see, guys, something I want to talk about, guys. It's a very sad situation when this rich person can look at you and your family and he knows, if I only spend 10 million, I'm going to Ghana, her and the whole family all together. Because why? I'm going to give her a car for 1 million. I'm going to build for her mother a house for 3 million. I'm going to build for her a house, another house for 4 million. And then I'm going to be giving her a monthly shopping of, I don't know, 50,000. And then I'm going to he's going to control you and your whole entire family. Because now you see, the house of your mother belongs to him, your brother's car that is driving for Uber belongs to him, your house belongs to him. You don't know, you have nothing to eat. Can you imagine what kind of a life? And you see, when you say this man spent 10 million, it's not a lot of money compared to how much money he's making. 10 million is nothing. Is to compare, like, I gave you 1,000 when I had 1 million. I don't know what you understand what I'm saying. So when you outsource these things and you outsource someone to come and decide your financial stability and freedom, you're going to suffer. This is not financial advice. Take it with a grain of salt. You can just listen and decide to get rich, decide to position yourself to be chosen by a rich man. You can decide to work hard to make your own money. At the end of the day, it's your life. And it's a good life if you can only make your money. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.